Good morning, the dark and cold abyss. This one's gonna be real rough and tumble with it, real scrappy. I don't even have the vaguest notion of an outline, but it just occurred to me that this is something I cannot shut up about. And I feel like we would all benefit from some of these ideas becoming more articulate. So check this out. Every single human being should learn how to code, especially people with ADHD. And I am basically going to be largely pulling from personal experience on this, and partially taking from what I've seen to be what the research suggests and otherwise. Now, the first thing, which I almost hesitate saying because it sounds a little cliche, because people say it all the time, but it's true, and I didn't know how true it would end up being. But sorry, can we run that back? Do that over. The first one, which I almost hesitate saying because it's so cliche and everybody starts with it, is I'm gonna run that back. Okay, we run that back a third time. We're just gonna start. The first one is because it changes to. Come on now, dude. The first reason is it teaches you how to think. Now, I almost avoided saying this one because people say it all the time. It's like the first thing on a lot of people's lists when they're like, I'm glad I learned how to code because it taught me how to think. And it's like, and I heard that many times, and like no one ever explained it really. So I just it's just one of those things. But I could tell you from experience what that actually might mean. And one of the ways I feel like that means to me, or one of the ways that resonates with me, is that it's a perfect example of perfectionism being paralyzing. Like, it's a one-to-one example of if you are guided by perfectionism and making sure things are done the best way possible, you actually can't code anything. Because from the moment you click create new file, you basically begin an infinite sized set of steps which are all actually changing every single day. Like, there are new frameworks coming out, new ways of doing things. And so, like, if you were to try to make the perfect program, let's say, that goes on forever. And a music example for me, coming from like a music production background, is like you kind of at some point do just have to acknowledge that what you're making isn't the best thing you could make. It's actually just like the thing you're comfortable settling for, because you know that there's an infinite number of ways to make it better. Because you have to, because otherwise you wouldn't be like a music producer. You have to, and the same with writing. Everybody says the same thing. But this, I feel like, I feel like it applies far more like smack on for coding in particular, because it's true every single step of the way with no exception. Every time you do anything, you basically have to find your tier of good enough, where that level is, and then just settle for it, basically. And you have to do that every single line, 10,000 lines long, There will always be a better way to do it. And so, like, that alone was interesting. And then that ties into this this other thing, which changes the way you think, is that there's infinite ways to collect things, and essentially like infinite number of ways to I don't know how this term works. I don't know if I'm lost or just not where I'm not there yet. I'm getting the vibes that turning right now is a bad idea, because everybody seems to want to go straight right now, which makes me think I want to go straight. And quite honestly, I think I do want to go straight, but I'm turning right because I was in the right lane, and I passed a lot of cars wanting to go straight. And this has nothing to do with anything. I don't apologize. The dog was into it. Another way it changed the way I think for the better is functions. I'll just sum it up with this idea that there's a way to think about doing things, let's say computationally, which is step by step, like I'm gonna do this thing, and let's say this line of code moves this file. And then you need to do something with the file, and then you need to combine the file with another file, and then you need to put the file somewhere else, let's say. You can a line that does that, a line that does that, a line that does that. And then you wanna do that for, every file in a folder. So you take those lines and you basically say, okay, I guess do this string of operations for every file in this folder. So if there's 10 folders, do this 10 times in this order. And you do that enough, you realize that's actually almost the entirety of programming is built on this idea, which is like, how simple can you make an instruction and how many use cases can you apply it to? Are you okay back there? This dog's freaking out. And I guess that basic principle of like efficiently understanding scale, let's say, and embedded instructions and stuff like that, a deep understanding of that, which is what you have to gain in order to like become proficient at programming, applies to your entire life so like productively. For example, if you work 2 days a week, this is a very, very simple example, but it gets the point across. If you work 2 days a week for like 3 hours every day, but it's an hour away, then you're essentially an hour there, an hour back, 2 days in a row. You're essentially losing 4 hours. But if you could find a way to make both those shifts happen in one day, like if that was an option that was available to you, it would be worth making it one day because, you'd be working the same amount of time, but you would have cut down on one back and forth trip. And like, obviously, like I said, that's like, I think I want to go left here. Now I'm feeling like a left is a good idea. Well, I guess I felt like a straight was a good idea before. I'm just gonna kill this guy real quick. Let me do a quick wave so he knows I didn't want to kill him. It's really important to like let him know that's a green light. Just saying what's up. Just saying what's up to everybody. Say what's up. Whatever. And here's another a lot of dogs trying to cross the street right now, and I haven't decided what. Like, what does it even mean? I'm gonna go in between them. Funny. You're fine. I don't know if you're fine. I should have asked, I suppose. Whatever. Another reason you should learn how to code, or people shut up. Okay, another reason why you should learn how to code, and this is particularly why you should learn how to code right now, in like more than another time, is because almost all the programmers that currently exist kind of have a semi-rigid muscle memory around a particular way of coding. Not all of them, I will say this isn't true for everyone, but not all of them are taking full advantage of the AI tools. A lot of them are implementing AI programming in what they're doing in a variety of ways, but not a lot of them are coming from an AI first background, which is where your boy's coming from. Just basically like, a bro's version of get ChatGPT to do stuff for you. Basically, you just take that to its extreme. You basically could become a 6-figure worthy software engineer really, really quick. Because, and like this, and this beautiful thing about this is you really don't need any formal accreditation to do this, because like functional projects that are live are pretty, pretty non-trivial. Like if you have a URL that someone can go to and see a thing that you did, it's like, oh, okay. It doesn't matter how you got there. It doesn't matter if you basically generated the whole thing with a clever prompt, which we're getting to that point. So when I say learn to code, I don't actually mean sit down and learn the syntax of like programming languages in that way, like the traditional sense. Like, learn the minimum amount necessary to deploy a software program. Oh my God, I'm parking. I'm gonna look out the side window and hope that gives me signals. Okay, we're frickin' back. Oh, the lighting is spectacular. Closing thoughts. Yeah, don't learn how to like code because I never wanted to do that. I tried a couple times to learn this, like the syntax of programming, which like, the beeps and bops of it all, the symbols, and just like get that all installed. It's not fun and it's not easy at all. But if you just read for essentially comprehension, productive comprehension, which is what you're doing when you get something generated by AI, you run it, you test it, it doesn't work, you ask AI why it doesn't work, and you basically just get really good at doing that. And it's awesome, and it's super rewarding, and you can wake up with an idea for an app. And this doesn't happen immediately. This process, although fun, does take some time to like really refine, because you do have to basically know what a senior programming engineer knows, which is how all these pieces fit together, and kind of a vague understanding of all programming languages, enough to ask educated questions to AI, which is going to do most of the work for you. And that's the thing. Okay, this is what I'm saying about like doing this right now, is that process. Not a lot of people are doing it, but it leads to 1,000x kind of output, maybe like 100x kind of output. Like I know programmers who've seen things that I've made with generally unique code, not like the full thing is boilerplate, which is when you just like deploy something that's very, very pre-built, like a lot of website design, there's like pre-built templates there. We're gonna get out of here for this hot dog. Anyway, not a lot of people are doing that. You can get good really fast and make things that make money really fast. Everybody should learn how to do this. That was a little disjointed. I knew it. I'll try better next time. Next time we're gonna do better, okay? Hey dog, we're doing better next time.